First tonight, reaction continuing to pour in after former President Donald Trump was found guilty on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in New York. Now, it's impossible at this point to know what, if any, impact this will have on the presidential election, but both the Trump and Biden campaigns have a similar message. It's more important than ever to get voters to turn out in November. Atra El-Nashar reports.
An angry former president and now convicted felon sounding off from Trump Tower Friday morning.
This is a scam. There's a rigged trial. So we're going to show them that we're going to fight. It's actually, I don't know, it's something where I'm wired in such a way that a lot of people would have gone away a long time ago.
Both the Trump and Biden campaigns were quick to fundraise off the verdict, Trump calling himself a political prisoner despite not being sentenced yet. His campaign claims to have raised almost $35 million Thursday. The Biden team tells supporters there is still only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office, at the ballot box. The president saying this from the White House.
Now he'll be given the opportunity, as he should, to appeal that decision just like everyone else has that opportunity. And it's reckless, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
As for whether it helps or hurts Trump's chances in November, it's anyone's guess.
I mean, I'm hearing people say, I had no intention of voting for Donald Trump, and now I am.
Let's not underestimate that there is a problem. Think about this. Those numbers are like 11%, less likely to vote for him.
We will make America strong again.
The verdict is expected to energize Trump's base, so the question is, will it sway swing voters? Polls give mixed answers. According to an NPR PBS Marist poll released Thursday morning, while 2/3 of overall voters say it won't make a difference, 11% of independent voters say they'd be less likely to vote for him if found guilty in the New York case. 15% said it would make them more likely. July 11th is the sentencing hearing for this case, and then Trump's team can start the appeal process. But before that, Trump's conviction is sure to be a central focus in the first presidential debate set for June 27th. In Washington, I'm Atra El-Nashar.
House Speaker Mike Johnson and Congressman Mike Turner in town today visiting Wright Pat. Now, aside from seeing the work being done at the base, Melania Brown also got their reactions to Trump's guilty verdict.
Today, Congressman Mike Turner and House Speaker Mike Johnson took part in a national security briefing at the National Air and Space Intelligence Center. They both took time to reassure Americans that the work being done at NASIC and Wright Pat is essential to keeping our nation safe and secure, especially from cyber attacks. Now, I also had the chance to ask both the House Speaker and the Congressman their reaction to former President Trump's guilty verdict.
I think that what happened in the trial there is outrageous. I'm a lawyer, I'm a former litigator. What happened there is easily appealable. It will be overturned on appeal, and I think that they understood that on the front end, but the objective was to be able to call the Republican nominee for president a convicted felon, and I think that's outrageous, and I think most of the American people understand that.
This is sad that our judicial system would be used for political purposes. You know, Donald Trump was just convicted of a crime that no one has ever been charged for and no one has ever been convicted for, and we don't even know what it is because the judge says, well, if you just feel like he's been guilty of some crime that's related to this, you can find him guilty. Even today, we don't know what this jury ultimately decided he was guilty for.
Congressman Turner will be back in Dayton next week for a conference on NATO. We'll be there and bring you the latest. Back to you.
We're also hearing from local school districts for the first time since the state released policy recommendations when it comes to cell phone policy. House Bill 250 requires districts across the state to have one in place before the start of next school year. So Gwyneth Falloon joining us live in studio tonight. First, can you walk us through exactly what the state is suggesting here?
Adam, the State Department of Education and Workforce has put together this model policy in partnership with both Governor Mike DeWine and Lieutenant Governor John Husted. Now, they are recommending cell phones be prohibited, but that bill does only require districts to have an official policy limiting cell phone usage.
So what could this mean for local students and districts?
Well, it really depends on that specific district because several here in the Miami Valley, they already have a cell phone or electronic device policy in place.
We moved to the pouch situation and where they have to lock it up, put it in that pouch, lock it out all day, and then at the end of the day, they unlock it.
We had a district-wide action, so to speak, meaning we took action to say no phones in 9 of the 10 schools, and we're going 10 out of 10 next year.
And with some kids out of class now, many districts, they're actually taking this summer to look over their current policies and make changes ahead of the 2024-25 school year. We're going to take a closer look at where some see room for improvement tonight at 10 and 11. Back to you.
A former Dayton police sergeant will spend the next 3 years on probation. Former DPS Sergeant Joseph Setti was accused of unlawful restraint and disorderly conduct involving 3 victims. Now, Setti entered a no contest plea and was convicted and sentenced yesterday. He was also ordered no contact with the victims and to pay court costs. Setti was relieved of duty when the allegation surfaced in March of 2023. A Dayton man has now been arrested in connection with theft earlier this month. The Butler County Sheriff says 21-year-old Damon Maston stole multiple items from the Liberty Center Dick's Sporting Goods. At the time of his arrest, deputies say Maston had a firearm and stolen merchandise. He's believed to be involved in other thefts at Liberty Center as well. Now that investigation is continuing, additional charges, they are possible. Live look behind me now at the Miami Valley Jail's website as this man is now behind bars for illegal gambling. 29-year-old Mayor Patel was taken into custody after a money laundering investigation conducted by multiple agencies. Now, police say they discovered over $200,000 and numerous gambling machines during a search warrant at the Internet Cafe on South Dixie Highway. Now, Patel was charged with operating a gambling house, possessing criminal tools, and engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity. He is currently in the Kettering jail. All right, a live look from our EcoPlumber Skycam on this Friday, beautiful Friday. As we head into the weekend, let's check in with Natalie.
Yeah, it's a great one out here on our Watson's Weather patio. It's been a beautiful day today, a little on the cooler side, but temperatures closer to normal for this time of the year compared to where we have been. Right now, we're hanging out at 74 in Dayton, 75 in Troy, 76 in Sydney. So it is a nice and warm afternoon. After a cool start, we had many places drop into the 40s, but all of us sitting warmer compared to this time yesterday. We're 4 degrees warmer in Dayton, 5 degrees warmer up in Wapakoneta, and heading into the rest of the evening, we'll continue to see our temperatures fall, but not quite as cool as we have been. We'll drop into the mid 50s by early tomorrow morning, but I am tracking some rain for the weekend, so I'm going to time it all out for you coming up.
Israel has now offered Hamas a new roadmap to an enduring ceasefire. President Biden laying out the details, urging the militant group to agree to them. The proposal has 3 phases. The first would last 6 weeks, including a complete ceasefire and full withdrawal of Israeli forces and the exchange of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and American hostages. That period would allow hundreds of thousands of temporary shelters to be delivered along with humanitarian aid. Phase 2 marks a permanent end to the hostilities, which will require lengthy negotiations. Phase 3 involves a major reconstruction plan for Gaza.
This is truly a decisive moment. Israel has made their proposal. Hamas says it wants a ceasefire. This deal is an opportunity to prove whether they really mean it. Hamas needs to take the deal.
President Biden says Israel has devastated Hamas to the point it is no longer capable of carrying out another attack similar to October 7th. He says only a comprehensive ceasefire will bring hostages home and lead to lasting security. Back in our area now, and it's National Cancer Survivors Day. It's coming up, and the Dayton VA held its celebration earlier today. Eli Burgett had the chance to talk to both VA staff members and cancer survivors on the importance of the event.
Well, it was an eventful morning at the Dayton VA. Today they celebrated National Cancer Survivors Day, which is this Sunday. There were many events that took place, including a walk for cancer earlier in the day. I got the chance to speak with several Dayton VA staff members, as well as a few cancer survivors on what this event means to them.
Get all the support you can, and like I say, if there's a support group, if you've just been diagnosed, get to the first meeting you possibly can. Well worth it.
This morning, dozens of support organizations had the opportunity to present their information to patients who are still battling with their cancer diagnosis at the Dayton VA celebration of National Cancer Survivors Day. The mission behind this event was quite simple: to help patients see that they don't have to fight their diagnosis all on their own. If you would like to get involved, you can visit ncsd.org/supporters to learn how you can support the cause.
The people at this event have had such long and tough battles with cancer, and the Dayton VA is proud to honor them for the trials they go through on a daily basis. Back to you.
After 34 years, a Miami Township police lieutenant has retired. A walkout ceremony held this afternoon for Lieutenant Jay Ferris. Now, during his 34 years, Ferris has held multiple positions within the station. Ferris's last day was filled with sharing stories, a party, and a final walkout and salute.
It's been an honor. I've met so many business people and residents and things over the years, and just just been honored to serve here. And I've got great coworkers, and I've seen a lot of people come and go, and it's just been a real good experience for me, and I'm proud to have served.
Ferris says he will spend his retirement with family, camping, and taking it easy. All right, let's give you a live look tonight at Friday Night Affair on St. Clair. Now, that is part of Pride that is starting tomorrow. Things just getting started, kicking off Dayton Pride. Tonight's event has live entertainment, food trucks, and drinks. That event runs until 10 tonight. Tomorrow, activities and festivities continue with the Pride Parade starting at 11 a.m., followed by the festival, hundreds of vendors, live entertainment, and of course, delicious food will all be there. The rules surrounding the sale of recreational marijuana continue to change. The impact this is having on law enforcement nationwide. Also, Dayton's Welcome Stadium.
The state championships for track and field occurring right here at Welcome Stadium. I'll have an update on several area student athletes who have already claimed the titles in multiple events.
Plus, I'm tracking our weekend forecast. I'll let you know what it's looking like for the Troy Strawberry Festival coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
In this image from the top of North Carolina's Big Bald Mountain, you can clearly see a rare phenomenon known as a Brocken specter. It's the shadow cast on the water droplets in the fog. To see it, you need bright sunlight and a cloud in the opposite direction. It's typically visible on a misty mountainside. It gets its name from the peak it was first observed on in Germany.
Want to see your weather photos and videos on TV? Click Chime In on this station's website to share.
Well, we could just be weeks away from the start of recreational marijuana sales in Ohio. Kate Seifert takes a look at how the constantly changing rules impacts local police and your safety.
We could be just weeks away from the start of recreational marijuana sales here in Ohio, but the rules for cannabis use and sales in the state and nationwide are constantly changing. Right now, the Justice Department wants to reschedule marijuana as a lower risk drug and remove it from a category in which it's treated as more dangerous than fentanyl and meth. Police say changes like this make their job more difficult.
We are telling our society that, marijuana, if it's the same classification of a Tylenol, that okay, it's got the same potency.
While police departments work to make adjustments to keep communities safe, medical marijuana dispensaries all across Central Ohio are preparing for big changes too. Starting on June 7th, they'll be able to start applying for dual licenses to sell recreational marijuana too. Reporting in Columbus, I'm Kate Seifert.
All right, well, we have made it to the weekend. We got some great events happening, including the Troy Strawberry Festival, which is kicking off.
Yeah, always great this time of the year.
Yeah.
Talking about, it's like the kickoff of summer, strawberries, and Troy's a beautiful place.
Good way to put it.
But for tomorrow, we got some rain in the forecast. Not going to be a washout of the weekend, so it's ongoing for both Saturday as well as for our Sunday. For tomorrow, if you get out early into the day, not too bad. Upper 60s to start us off, but by the afternoon, we will start to see some showers developing. Few showers around 3 p.m., but it does look like by the evening, our rain becomes a little bit more widespread. That being said, start of the day, looks like we'll have some dry time. Temperature-wise, won't be too hot. Sometimes it gets too hot when you're out in the sun, so it'd be nice to have some cloud cover sticking around. You can see some clouds around right now. Next weather maker is off to our west. That will be making its way in. So we'll pause this here tomorrow morning, mid-50s, not quite as cool. This is showing the rain holding off until around 4 or 5 p.m. I'd say give or take a couple of hours with that. And then that heavier rain continues overnight, lingering into our day on Sunday. Have a look at the rest of the weekend coming up.
The best in the state in high school track and field. They're in Dayton this weekend for the 2024 state championships. Matt Digby has been following it all. Already a few state champions from our area.
Yeah, Adam, the championship's actually starting last night with a couple of finals for events in Division 3, and right now couple of preliminary events finishing up for Division 1 as they'll take a look at where we are and just outside Welcome Stadium. They're just going through the final intro ceremony, for lack of a better phrase. The Division 3, many of their track finals are about to start at 6:30. It will begin with the girls 100 hurdles and boys 110-meter hurdles. And again, we've already had a couple of state champions individually from last night in the Division 3 field events. We had Katie McFarland from Lehman Catholic in the pole vault. We had Sierra Brinson, who was first in the discus from Dixie. She was also the runner
the Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
One of the biggest Miami Valley festivals of the year is back this weekend. Preparations for the Troy Strawberry Festival well underway. Tej Joshi gives us a look at what we can expect.
Downtown Troy is the place to be this weekend. It is the site of the major and iconic Troy Strawberry Festival. This is one of the biggest festivals to come to the Miami Valley every year. And as you can see, preparations are underway. This, of course, is downtown Troy, always a beautiful place. But this weekend, it's going to be bustling with people. And as you can see, today, preparations are already underway. So many organizers, of course, nonprofits, and even lots and lots of volunteers are here to make sure this event goes off without a hitch. A couple things you need to know if you want to be part of this event. It's Saturday and Sunday. Organizers are expecting upwards of 150,000 people. The event is completely free to attend. You do have to spend money on food here, but here's the good news. This event, in addition to being a huge community event with all kinds of vendors and entertainment, is also a nonprofit event because nearly every food item sold here at the event is also a way to raise money for a local nonprofit. A couple things to note. Parking is a bit limited here in the downtown Troy area. There's different options for parking around the Miami County area with free shuttles that'll bring you from those parking options here to downtown Troy. Overall, should be a great time this weekend. Just a wonderful day to spend in downtown Troy. My friends, back to you in the studio.
Well, if you head out this weekend for any of the events happening, we'd love to see your photos. If you have something to share, you can scan this QR code. It'll take you to our Chime In page. You can upload your photos and videos right to us. You might even see them live here on the air.
Well, weekend is looking okay. We will have some rain, mainly second half of the day on Saturday, lingering into our early Sunday. The rain starts to taper off by our Sunday afternoon. Temperature-wise, upper 70s, lower 80s. It's going to be just not too bad of a weekend, but we will be dodging some showers, so do keep that in mind. That being said, first half of Saturday, second half of Sunday, looking all right with temperatures by next week back in the 80s. But notice we do have some rain and thunderstorm chances by Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see some scattered showers and thunderstorms returning to the area. And then it does get slightly cooler by late next week. We have temperatures that begin to fall back into the mid 70s, which will be back below normal for this time of the year. But again, showers mainly second half of the day tomorrow. And then when we warm up, we also get some of those storms back in the picture too.
All right, well, that does it for us. Have a good rest of your evening. We are over on Fox 45 if you would like to continue watching with us there. Good night.